solve that? Live streaming, awesome. Tell us a little bit more about it. Can I have a mic? I mean, I have a mic. I would like a second mic because I am Queen of the Dragons, and therefore I need many things to make me happy. Oh, and that's yes, yes, bend your knee, but not you, guys. So let's talk a little bit because that's a big issue for us, and it's going to get bigger. So talk to us a little bit about how you address that.
Well, we have yet to address it, but it is something because we are Dallas-Fort Worth chapter, so we have a huge metroplex with 5 to 7 different individual markets within. So we have Arlington, which is directly between. We've got Irving, we've got Plano, Fort Worth, but we're very Dallas-driven. And so one thing we had spoken about was doing a live stream of our luncheons for members only, so that they can access it from their desk, so that they can still be a participant. But if you work in Dallas and you want to go to a luncheon in Fort Worth, it's hard to get breakfast.
Great. So is anybody in the room? I'm coming over to you. Anybody in the room done live streaming?
Come here.
Yes, I don't want to come here. I want to ask the rest of the people. Do we want to hear from Jeff?
Yes! Central Florida started live streaming our lunches in January. Live on Facebook, and just to test it out, it'll be going live on live stream for members only in the coming months.
Okay, so tell us about, I'm going to project what I think the questions are. You would have like things like, how do you live stream?
Hello.
Hello.
Is anyone there?
I love your glasses.
Thank you.
Okay, go ahead.
We invested in a kit called Mevo.
Okay, spell it.
M-E-V-O.
And where did you get it? Amazon.com?
Yes. Sort of, but we actually got the idea from the quarterly meetings.
Perfect.
And it's so easy to do. You can do all different areas. It's fantastic. It's fun to use.
Okay, so let me ask this question. When is your next one?
Next week, next Wednesday,
At?
noon Eastern time.
Okay, great.
Actually, the live streaming will start about 12:45.
So those of you who are interested might want to connect.
But we are live streaming tomorrow here.
Whoa.
Be still my heart! Oh my gosh!
And the education for next week is about carriers, airlines, all the numbers and statistics of trend coming into the Central Florida area. So that's a great education for you.
There.
Peggy, we have an example of something.
I'm sorry, say again?
We'd like to have Lauren tell us an example.
Okay. Yes, this is Mevo. It's here, and we're recording the session, so we'll have them play back. Yes, you can live stream, and yes, we will be. But we also do a weekly live stream already for HSMAI. We have been doing a weekly live show called This Week in Hospitality Digital Marketing. It's been almost 5 years now. It's every Friday, 11:30 Eastern.
Awesome.
Eric's been there. We have guest hosts from all around the world. We're in 28 countries. We have a little over 6,000 people that follow us every week. We invite everybody to join either as a talking head or as an audio or as a chat or something. We have wonderful curated content from Robert Cole from the marketing board. We have some great perpetual co-hosts. We have on average about 6 of us. They come on and off the show on a regular basis. Holly Zobe, you may know from influencer sales and so forth, and also from the Arizona chapter. So we've been doing this now for almost 5 years. And it is a wonderful process of new content each and every week where, like I said, we have curated content that Robert Cole puts together and through. But we'll also, and this is something that Fran has asked me to do, we will have all the recordings of all the presentations from today as well, and they'll be made available per their discretion. So we'll have that as well.
Can you fix hair on the...
Oh, I can Photoshop lots of cool stuff.
I just had to ask. Somebody had their hand up. You did, and then you did.
So, can you limit who gets to watch this?
Yes.
So it's
Yes.
free if you do not limit the people that watch it. If it's membership based, you can begin limiting who watches it. A membership as in you have to pay a membership to live stream to be able to have the control of it. But otherwise, after you buy the equipment, it's free.
You can, I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you. Yeah, there is, you're right, live stream. I use Webinar Jam for our show, which is a paid-for-service. You can limit it. You can also do password protect. You can put it on your own website, do it in encrypt, and give only the access to that page to people. So there's ways you can use the free service without necessarily having to have the cost factor associated with it as well.
So if you're getting started on it, sometimes it's go the way that has no doors, right? Because you want to see if you can do it, if it feels good, and if it's going to work. And the other thing I always say when folks are doing something for the first time is be very authentic. Hey guys, we're trying something. Come join, see how it goes. Because when you set the expectation like that, people come on board with that understanding.
Is this just voice or is it audio?
It's everything. It's everything.
We'll do it tomorrow.
We'll do it tomorrow, yes.
So Jeff, we've been doing it at the Rocket programs, and we have 100 hours worth of recording. It's not professional videoing. It is live cast, right? But it absolutely provides the content and gives the speaker the credit for his presentation.
Perfect, good.
And I was wondering, if somebody's a member and they come to a luncheon, they pay for the luncheon or the program or whatever, is there any mechanism to charge for people that are live streaming?
Yes.
Yes. So you can get all that sophistication on with this. What I love about this kind of thing is we're not going to get all of the answers, but I want you to see the people that are telling you what they've done, and I want you to make contact. And if they're going to have a live stream, I want you to take the time to participate in it. We get so busy as chapter leaders just preparing for the next event. We don't take the time to also allow this to be a wonderful PD development for us. Get involved in one of these opportunities, take a look at it, and then see if it's going to work for you. Now we went right to live streaming as the solution for I'm Not Around. Is that the only solution?
No.
No. What's another solution for somebody that is too far away, that time or just transportation is going to make it difficult to get to your monthly event?
I know for another association I manage, we have,
Thank you. For another association I
Yes,
manage.
Cersei can sometimes be gracious.
I'm not very loud. Okay, so Tucson's about 2 hours away, so I know for a couple of our meetings they would actually carpool. Get a van and just carpool, 6 to 10 of them down to the meeting. So it was kind of fun, and we got a great group there, so it worked out really well.
So you actually get an opportunity for some really good one-on-one networking by recommending something like that. So that's another solution. What's yet another solution for this conversation? Because we got to have a number of things we can act on, because one may not work for our chapter. Smiley face.
Smiley face, hashtag smiley face. So I think that you could do a hybrid too with the live stream. So if you just wanted to record it, then you could play it back and still control your audience later, and you kind of work the bugs out at the first couple of times before you actually do start live streaming. So there's another way to do that too. Then you control when and where it's you.
Great, awesome. Is there any other way?
Move the venue.
Bring the party to them.
You can take the show on the road, maybe to other sections, or alternate different programs in different areas so people can attend if it's in their region, and then they're more interested to come when it's maybe a 30-minute drive away.
That's right. And even when you do that, I know some of you are going to say, oh yeah, but then who's going to come? Frank says, well, yeah, great, then we'll have 5 people. How can we do that? You take the event and you scale it so that it's perfect for 5 and it's perfect for 50. You're up. Do you have a microphone? Yes, great minds think alike. Awesome. All right, I need one more answer to this question. I cannot be satisfied until I have one more, and I have problems. Keep going. Yes, Jane's like, let's give her something.
On my other association, we join chapters together. So for instance, we have the New York chapter, we would join the Connecticut chapter and New Jersey and do one like educational piece with all 3 chapters, either in a different state than our, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a different location. That joins everybody together, creates more demand, and when it's in a different location where it feeds into the other people who can't make it.
Great. So it's about, yes, use technology, but also there's variety. How do we do things a little bit differently? How do we stop being worried about having 50 or 90 or 100 people in the room and say, how do we create an event for 5 people? Right? It's going to, not always expecting them to come to us. So there was one other one up here that I thought was interesting, and this one might be a little controversial, but the content of the meeting I attended wasn't really relative for me. Yeah, it's okay. It's typos are good. So I got there, and the content, just wasn't for me. How do we solve that?
Have a poll at the end to see what the content for the next one should be. What did they get out of it? What did they enjoy? What did they not like? Ask them other questions.
Yeah. So we could find out. We could do a little bit of problem solving around that as well. Well, how else can we? Right here, you have the mic, and I'm coming right to Julie.
I would add to it it's the marketing issue, actually. It's the segmentation of your data. It's identifying the people's interests. This shotgunning, this blasting, throwing everything on the wall perpetually of, we have this event, we have this event, we have this event, and not being clear on the messaging of what the content's to be, or being specific as to who you're giving that content to, will bring those people and they go, this isn't what I thought it was, or this isn't what I need, because really we're just browbeating them into participation. So identifying by data and identifying the message clearly will help alleviate a lot of that confusion points.
And the underscore part of what he said, we're going to do content for different groups. And there's going to be also content that is for everybody. So making sure people know that. It does mean, I'm going to use the word scale a number of times, it does mean that you might have to scale content down because you know it's going to be for a very specific size group or targeted market that's going to be smaller. But Julie had something to add, and then I think you had something to add as well. Sure.
And to add to that, make sure the speaker knows what the topic is to be and what their content is going to be. So when you start marketing it, that is actually what the speaker talks about.
Yeah.
I've seen that.
You've seen that a couple times?
Just a few. Yeah.
I just spent the last 2 days at a conference here, and I didn't go to one session where the speaker was obviously clued in, or as I said, the marketing person was clued in on what the speaker was going to talk about, because I don't think it was the speaker's fault. Leon, come on now, just say something stunning and wonderful, or remember the fires.
It's basically repeating everything at this point, but basically just marketing effectively the events. Just make sure everyone knows what they're signing up for, so that they're not disappointed by the content.
Okay, great. There's one other thing you can do all the way over here. Do you have a mic there? You did a great job.
Yeah, I have a mic. Mark Peters, Dallas, Fort Worth. I think it's also beneficial to tell people that though it may not apply to you now, it could apply to you later. I was at an agency, so I didn't really have access to sales people to kind of present an idea that was in one of our meetings. However, I just moved to a management company. I was able to present that idea, and people think I'm a genius. And again, take a genius idea from someone else, and you become a genius. So that's something like we're kind of saying at the end of the meeting, have people call out what are the key takeaways they have. So even if it doesn't seem relative to you, you can be talking to someone, and you can again become a genius.
So I want to take what he said, because that was exactly what I was looking for. I'm going to pull it right back out again. Guys, we have a responsibility in our program design to make sure that the content is being understood and is being usable. You can't always have a speaker that does wonderful things, like Fran and Jenny have and me. But, can I say, no. Build into your programming that opportunity to make sure that you're having a conversation at the tables, which we're about to do, so I'm kind of getting you guys ready for this. Have a conversation at the table about what they've heard and how they can apply it. And I love the texture that you put over top of that, which would maybe be in the room to pick someone who is sales, someone who is, I'm going to get some of this wrong, but revenue manager, whatever, and say to them at the end, I want you to stand up and say what was relevant today. Because all of a sudden, you're helping your learners connect dots. And the third thing in all of that to do is to make sure that you provide opportunity called white space. Because you see, sometimes when I'm sitting there and I'm listening and I'm hearing all this content and it's right in here and I can't, I walk out of the room, and the reason why they say it's not relevant, oftentimes is because they had no time to process. Have any of you done any reading on brain science and brain-friendly education? If you haven't, it is well worth the energy and the time to do that. And I will get the title and the author of the book and get it to you, because there is one on the neuroscience of learning that I think is fabulous for everybody to read. And one of the things it talks about is creating the white space, creating that opportunity for us to hear something and then process it. One of the things that it suggests, and I would encourage us to do this, but most of you would say I was crazy, so I won't, is at the end of a session like this, is that you go out for a 10-minute walk. One of the most greatest gifts, most greatest, like that grammar? Most greatest gifts that you can give yourself is the gift of reflection. But I'm going to ask us to do this. We're going to be going on break in about 7 minutes. But in the next 7 minutes, I'd like you at your tables to share. You have seen two things today. First, we challenged you to think about the value of chapters overall and the role of the chapter in the overall community, because you are one piece of a wonderful value proposition that HSMAI gives to your profession. So we challenge you to think about that. And we gave you some things that are problems, that are barriers, but we also gave you 5 compelling reasons why you can produce value at your local level. And now we've just talked about the fact is if you understand the job to be done, you can come up with programming that connects to that. And you can change the way you're having conversations. From all of this, what's one thing you can act on when you get back to your chapters? Now I need you to actually write that down in the book, because you're going to forget it when we get on to the next session. So before you get up for break, I just need you to write down one thing that yours takeaway. Maybe it's a thing like, I'm gonna talk to Blair to find out a little bit more about X, right? Or maybe it's, I'm gonna send an email to Laurie and say, there was some incredible thing about the problem, or and I just want to find out how I can take that home to me, right? Maybe it's I'm gonna read that book on neuroscience. When you have written something down and shared it with your group, then you may go on break. All right?